Good afternoon, Alana Brunton here, back at it with you for another week. This is Saturday Brunch on 103.2 Dublin City FM. We have interviews on a number of different topics today. We're starting off the programme with Tina of Irish Artist. The website www.irishartist.ie acts as a directory of artists in Ireland, providing assistance to the artists as well as a place to feature their work and then link it to Irish Art Mart to sell if they wish to do so. Thanks so much for coming onto the show, Tina. You run the Irish Artist page and website.
Sure, no problem.
So just to start off, plain and simple, what is Irish Artist?
Well, so basically, Irish Artist is an online platform offering, I suppose, artists, residents in Ireland, Irish artists abroad, a platform to show their work. It's quite simply, and there's also a sister website called Irish Art Mart where they can sell their work. But the Irish Artist website is really like a directory of Irish artists, and it's open to any Irish artist living in Ireland or abroad. That's essentially what it is.
When was it established, and when did you get, I suppose, the idea?
Yeah, so I can take credit for it. So the idea came from Dara Hayden, who is an Irish artist. I suppose he's an artist a long time now, and he kind of started it around 2016, and I suppose it's only in the last maybe year or two, maybe 18 months, that it's kind of got more traction. And I suppose the idea came to him really from his own point of view as an artist, looking through the internet, trying to find ways to promote himself and his own art. And through that kind of research, a lot of the kind of online marketplaces, they were quite expensive, but for artists to put your work up on, and the money was just, you could have yourself on a number of these different platforms, and it costs a lot of money. So he decided then himself that through obviously as well his own connections with people, other artists, he decided himself to set up the Irish Artists because he wanted to build a community of Irish artists and help them promote themselves. So what he did then was set up the website, and it allows artists to upload the work and they can update their bios and that kind of thing. And it's very easy to, I suppose, manage yourself. And then one of the other reasons as well he thought would be a good idea is because a lot of the artists that he knew, they were looking for websites, but then they didn't really have the know-all or the wherewithal to kind of manage their own websites. So this kind of replaces that need. So you have an online presence without you don't need to have the technical know-how to manage a website. So that's kind of how the idea was born.
It's nearly like the new modern way of displaying your art and connecting with other artists, isn't it?
Because you can actually, because really what it's trying to create is community as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're on the Irish Artists website, you can message other artists, similar to any other social media kind of platform, but it is all the artists on the platform, and they can message each other freely. And there's no charge to join the Irish Artists website. So this is something that he does, I suppose, out of his own time. But also you can kind of do it yourself. You can upload your own pictures and manage your own profile. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And he's been out now a while, and it's grown to, I think it's over 400 artists now at the moment. And it's getting more and more kind of popular on Instagram. There's a good few followers. And I suppose Instagram has really helped get the word out there because it's visual. And obviously all the art is visual. So that's really helped. In the last kind of year, I suppose, he's kind of been pushing the Instagram and sharing and hashtagging and all that kind of social media stuff. So it's a lot of a labour of love, really, is kind of how I describe it.
Yeah, and Instagram was nearly established as a sort of online portfolio that the world decided to join. So this page is really good because it's like a collaborative portfolio of Irish artists, really. It is kind of what it says on the tin.
Exactly, and it's a directory, and anybody that's, I suppose, residents here, and you don't necessarily have to be Irish, you can be living in Ireland, but it's then, if you're outside of Ireland, it's kind of focused on Irish artists living abroad as well. So hopefully it will grow to a number where, ideally you'd like to have everybody on it, and it does serve as a real directory of Irish artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose 4 years, at it, it's still in its infancy and trying to just get the word out there. And I think people like yourself are giving it some highlights will really help as well. But I suppose the whole social media thing, a lot of artists probably, depending on the demographic probably aren't really social media savvy. It just depends on the person. Some
Yeah.
people are, some people aren't. So this kind of helps. I think Dara sees that, and he kind of helps other people out because he's always helping artists with their websites and that kind of thing. So this is just an easier way to have a lot of people at the same time.
Yeah, it's a great tool for facilitating. Just as a matter of interest, was funding needed, say, from the Arts Council or anything to start up the Irish Artist, or is it just very straightforward? If you're tech savvy, it's very doable at a low cost?
Yeah, I think really, yes, but Dara hasn't, he never approached the Arts Council, and the fear he would have is if he went to, I suppose, an organisation for funding, they might want to have some kind of control or say
restrictions or
exactly, or have that kind of set criteria and restrict from really the freedom that he wants to open to everybody, no matter what type of medium you paint or sculpture or craft. So he never approached the Arts Council, so they didn't have an opportunity to turn him down. But so really it's his own skill set that in terms of the website building, because he would be quite tech savvy, and then I suppose his own money goes into it in terms of hosting the website and any of the kind of added extras he has built into it. But he's happy to do it, and maybe at some stage you might approach them, but at the moment it's not something he needs help with. So
yeah, and so that's happy days really so far.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, how can artists get in contact with Irish Artists, and what criteria must they fill in order to be featured?
Yeah, so really they can contact via the website. It's very easy. You can register on irishartist.ie, and you can register there and set up your profile. It's very straightforward. That's the easiest way to do it. And the only criteria is that it is open to artists residents in Ireland and Irish artists living abroad, and that's the only criteria. So if you have a look at the website, you can see that it covers all sorts of mediums, from painting, illustrators. There's crafts in there as well, so nobody's excluded really, because that was one of the key things Dara wanted to create a platform that was open to all types of, I suppose, visual art. So
it really opens your mind. Well, I was looking through it myself, and there was mixed media and everything, and nearly graphic design.
Yeah, I think it has something for everybody. And then if you on the Irish Artists website, that's like a directory, and then onto the Irish Art Mart for somebody who's looking to buy or even sell their work. There's a whole price. The prices range, very kind of low, €50 upwards. So there's something there for everybody as well. If they wanted to, if they're interested in purchasing some of the artwork as well. So there's both sides of it there in terms of the directory, and then there's also the you wanted to purchase something.
And as well, Tina, are they all from different kind of backgrounds with regards to their training in art? Like, would some of the artists be very established, others maybe just out of art college, others completely self-taught? Is it a full kind of spectrum?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, it's not people aren't critiqued in terms of where did you go to art college, or it's basically if you have work that you're an Irish artist and you want to promote your work on the website, that's the only criteria you need to fill. So in terms of people's backgrounds, some people are self-taught, and there's some really, really young artists on it who are, some of the stuff is phenomenal I've seen. So it's all backgrounds, people who have studied, people who haven't studied, and really that's the key thing, that as Dara wanted to create, that it wasn't going to pick and choose who gets to come on the website depending on what their background is. So it's open to everybody.
It's really nice that it's that kind of open community and not impossible to get work featured, or it's not this kind of closed shop thing. It's really caters for everyone.
Yeah, because some things are closed shop, and they want to know where did you go to college, and some people didn't, and that's the path they chose, and they're very talented. Despite you don't need to have gone to art college if you're talented, and this is your your art and what you've produced and what you love doing. So it's open for everybody. So that's a big thing Dara wants to get that message across. The Irish Art Mart is like a conduit. It connects the artist and the buyer, and it's like it's an online marketplace, like an Amazon, I suppose, for art, for Irish art, and somebody can buy something directly from on that website. So the Irish Artist website is really a directory, so you can profile and have a look and learn more about the artist. And then the Irish Art Mart website is the platform for selling, the marketplace for selling their work, if they wish to join onto that one. So some people might not choose to go onto the Irish Art Mart website. They might just be happy to be on the Irish Artist website. So it depends on what the person themselves want to do. But once they're on, either the website Dara promotes their art through things like Instagram, on social media. So that's how people can buy it, is really through Irish Art Mart, or they can contact the artists themselves directly.
Irish Art Mart is very much a sister website to Irish Artists. They're linked.
Yeah, they're linked, as in Dara runs both of them. Yeah.
Could you tell me about the Irish Artist blog that's on the website?
Yeah, so basically Dara would curate different articles that are, I suppose, art related, and most of the articles are kind of like around tutorials in terms of different techniques maybe artists would use, and he curates those articles that he finds interesting and adds them to the blog or the kind of e-zine, and then it goes out if people subscribe to it, or they can see it on the website. So really it's just kind of information that he thinks would be of interest to other artists.
And again, kind of enforcing that community element.
Yeah, exactly. So especially now when people can't really get out, well, they can, but it's not as easy as it used to be, and meet up with other people. Then some people aren't very social and maybe don't want to go out and meet other people, just depending on the type of person they are. So this is another way through technology, I suppose, connecting people and trying to stay in contact and just share things, like articles that might be of interest. So it's a way of keeping the kind of community together.
And I think you read my mind for the next question. I have to ask the token question of 2020. Did lockdown or the global pandemic affect the kind of daily operations of Irish Artists at all?
No, I think thankfully it's a small operation. We don't have a huge office with a large staff. So we were working from home before working from home became fashionable.
Yeah.
So really it didn't have an impact. So maybe it might have had more of an impact on people visiting the website or artists thinking about signing up, because maybe they had to rethink their strategy and how they can get themselves out there now that things have closed down. So maybe from that point of view it might have affected the incoming, but in terms of the day-to-day running of the site, it nothing else changed.
Which is great. As you said, it was everything moved to online and yous were already there, so it was more or less just welcoming the people in, the curiosity in.
Yeah, no, it's good from that point of view. I think more people are, I suppose, online, whether they probably wanted to be online for working from home, etc. But yeah, no, I suppose there's silver lining in some of these things. You have to kind of look at the positives that come out of it. So hopefully the artists have felt they've gained by maybe putting themselves on the website and having their presence there.
Tina, where can we get more information about Irish Artists, and could you reiterate the process of getting work featured?
Yeah, sure. So really it's very, very straightforward. If you're an artist and you'd like to feature on the directory, on the platform, it's if you go to irishartist.ie, that's the easiest thing. And when you go to the homepage, you'll have a little pop-up might ask you to register, or it'll be a link on the homepage. And then if you're interested in selling your artwork, you don't have to do both of them. You can do either or. You can go to irishartmart.ie and you can set up your online shop there, and it's very straightforward. It's very user friendly, and they're basically the two easiest ways. It's all online. There's no need to speak to anybody or to ring anybody. There is contact us. If you have any difficulty, they can use the contact us form, but it's very straightforward and easy to use. And then if they do have emails, Dara will answer the emails very quickly.
Thanks very much, Tina. Great stuff.
Thanks, Alana.